And this morning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Astronaut Esports. It is NightPhoenix. And this morning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player from land of Poland, representing Super People Esports. It is Ziomek. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PvP. Coming into this, as we kind of alluded to earlier, in a sense, Ziomek, he's a very active player, very active, very consistent when it comes to competing and playing in online tournaments. That is true. I would rate NightPhoenix a little bit higher, but I will place an asterisk on that. NightPhoenix, I do rate him quite highly as a player, but he's also very inconsistent and very inactive. I wish we saw more NightPhoenix, to be honest. Like, NightPhoenix, he was very active, like, in 2023 and maybe the beginning of 2024, but, like, I feel like 2021, 2, 3, like, that was, like, NightPhoenix's era. In the last year of play, NightPhoenix, he hasn't really been playing in much. He hasn't been playing in many tournaments. He hasn't been too active when it comes to competitive play. I appreciate that he's here in this tournament. I love covering me some NightPhoenix, but, yeah, I wish he it does feel like he's maybe spending a little bit more time in other aspects of the game, you know, playing Osu. That's the NightPhoenix. God damn it. It's like trigger. Speaking of, though, NightPhoenix does skirt around the edge of the map and does hide his initial probe and his initial pylon. What's going on? Let's go. The pylon has been placed, and we are setting up a proxy. So an aggressive start here from NightPhoenix. Is opening up aggressively behind this 2-gate opener out of Ziomek. I mean, both players did open 2 gates. Pylon is done, and what do you have for us? What do you got? Cybercore does complete. Now, this wouldn't be a bad location for a proxy Stargate. Yep, there we go. Stargate is on the way. The rush distance by air is very short in this location. Now, as a heads up, this is not an all-in. Proxy Stargate is designed to cripple the economy of your opponent with an Oracle, but you do still expand behind it. It's a way to get ahead. It's a way to get ahead, to cripple your opponent, and to take an economic lead. And we'll see if Ziomek can piece it all together. Ziomek across the map, he knows. He's aware that the pylon is missing. He is searching for the pylon. So Ziomek is checking the top left-hand corner of the map. And based on his rally, he will eventually find the proxy. Eventually. Still on the way. Likewise, Hallucination moves out. Hallucination is checking the right-hand side, checking for the proxy robo locations. So Ziomek is being very, very thorough when it comes to his scouting, but because of that, again, it's going to be a little bit later. He will still find this, though, just in time, just before the first Oracle does arrive. He scouts, he confirms, he knows. He does spot the Oracle. Behind this, he does need to reposition. There's no shield battery. Uh-oh. Yeah, no shield battery in the main base. Adepts are moving in. They shade into the main. Oh, they do cancel, though. They don't quite commit. Stalkers, they're ready in the mineral line. Oracle dips in. And Ziomek, oh! He's here. So here we go. The initial shield battery is going to go down. Takes down the shield battery. The Oracle's waiting for a second. The sentries are exposed, as they do save themselves. Thankfully. Now, the power of a second Oracle here is that 2 Oracles, they one-shot. They one-shot workers, they one-shot probes, even with a shield battery. Meanwhile, the pylon's going down. Ziomek, he is holding onto his 2 bases. Behind this, of course, NightPhoenix is expanding. And he wants those sentries. Yeah, he wants them, and he's going to get them. He gets 1. 1 sentry goes down, he gets 2, he gets 3. Oh, brutal losses here, even getting the Stalker. No, the Stalker goes down. 3 sentries, a Stalker, and a probe. And likewise, denied mining at the natural. Adepts, they threaten a shade. They force the shield battery to finish. Oof, there's a cancel. Adepts, they don't quite get in. Oracles, they rotate back around. And Ziomek hasn't lost many workers, but remember, he had a faster expansion. Like, we should have seen a better economy from Ziomek. NightPhoenix is taking a worker lead here. Slightly. Oh, gets Revelation. I say that worker counts are neck and neck. NightPhoenix is ahead supply-wise, as he did retain his army. Behind this, going for a robo follow-up into an immortal push. No Twilight Council, no blink, no charge, no nothing, just early immortals. And NightPhoenix is pushing. And immortals this early on, they can be terrifying, just because we're too early for upgrades here. There's no blink, there's no defensive warp prism, no defensive robo or immortals for Ziomek. NightPhoenix already has momentum by sniping those earlier sentries, and without those sentries, there are no force fields. And NightPhoenix does make his way in. Stalker's trying to hold their own. No shield battery either. He locks them down. The force field is brutal. The immortal has arrived, and the Stalkers are going down one after the other. Oracles, they come in from behind. We get a full surround, and with that, NightPhoenix has done it, has broken Ziomek. We have 4 Stalkers left, down to 2, down to 1, and GG. GG gets called. NightPhoenix pulling Ziomek apart. It takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A very aggressive style here out of NightPhoenix. Shout out to Ziomek because he did scout, right? He did scout, he did confirm the Stargate, that is true. Unfortunately, he was pulled apart regardless. He was able to defend his mineral line, didn't lose many workers, so give credit where credit is due, but his sentries were exposed. The sentries, they were on their own, and losing 3 sentries that early on was brutal. They're so valuable, especially in the early game. We kind of mentioned it, how that early on, you don't have a defensive warp prism, you don't have blink, so what is important? Force fields. Force fields, they can do such a great job at buying time, at zoning away the army, and giving you time to warp in, to reposition, and to reinforce. But with 3 sentries getting sniped at the start of the game, like suddenly just so much gets stripped away from Ziomek. He was vulnerable, and NightPhoenix just went for the kill. Just went for the kill thereafter. GG. With that, we're getting into our next map, Ultra Love. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Ukrainian Brodos player, the red Brodos representing Astronaut Esports. It is NightPhoenix. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Brodos player, the blue Brodos himself from Atlanta, Poland. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. It is Ziomek. We go. Super People Esports. I believe that is Indy's team. I believe Indy and some others. Did create the team some time ago. Shout out to Indy. As we are building up. And once again, our eyes are going to be on NightPhoenix. Now, as opposed to the previous map, we do have a ramp coming into the natural. Because of that, a low ground setup here is viable, is standard. Going for a gateway into Cybercore, into expansion, maybe Stargate before Nexus. But a more economic and greedy build here by Ziomek. NightPhoenix, 2 gate. He just doesn't care. Just 2 gate opener out of NightPhoenix. 2 gateways into a Cybercore. Ziomek here in position to get an eye on whether there's expansion, the first units of choice. Second pylon for NightPhoenix, no proxy this time. Is no proxy. Ziomek does confirm. Ooh, and NightPhoenix does pylon block. Now again, the role of NightPhoenix is to delay the expansion. The role of Ziomek is to expand, is to get the Nexus up and running as quickly as possible. To be more greedy, to be more economic. The Zeld is forced out. And Ziomek does have the money for it, but another pylon block. Once again, a delay. Ziomek forces her down the Stargate, I would imagine. No Stargate yet. Now, if the pylon finishes, we can throw down the Cybercore. Pylon is done. Yep, Cybercore gets thrown down. And I think lays even further. And look at the bank of Ziomek. Ziomek, he has so many minerals, so much gas in the bank. Typically, if there's this much of a delay, you throw down the Stargate, but he refuses. Yeah, no Stargate for Ziomek. Back at home, NightPhoenix taking up, throwing down his own Stargate. Jesus. And Ziomek, his build is disrupted. There we go. Now he throws down another gateway, walling up. Still no expansion, still just a massive bank for Ziomek. And there's a cancel. Finally, he expands. Finally, the natural base is just so heavily delayed here and just a really inefficient start for Ziomek. And NightPhoenix should be expanding himself. And this space, the timing of this natural base for NightPhoenix is actually, what, a couple of seconds behind his opponent? Considering how greedy, considering how economic this build was meant to be, NightPhoenix now in a better position. I would say the bases are neck and neck, and NightPhoenix is enjoying earlier tech on top of that. So faster Stargate, faster tech, faster Oracle Harass into an evenly timed expansion. That is not an Oracle, that is a Phoenix. Okay. Now, I believe this is a Phoenix because NightPhoenix believes that there should be a Stargate in the main. There isn't, but there should be. I don't think NightPhoenix realizes just how much damage he dealt early on. Is that, yeah, NightPhoenix probably just got a Stargate himself, probably opening up Oracle. Meanwhile, Ziomek, he does fully wall off at his natural base. That's fully wall. NightPhoenix going Phoenix into Robo, into Immortal production. So NightPhoenix is going to have, or he's going to be behind when it comes to the overall upgrades, when it comes to Blink, when it comes to the mobility of the army. But it's building up everywhere else. Hallucination to the main. He's going to now realize that there is no Stargate. There we go. Twilight Council instead. Going into Blink. And NightPhoenix will see everything. Does get eyes on the Robo as well. And now it's going to be on NightPhoenix to actually make use of these Phoenixes to get some damage done, harass. As Phoenixes are building up. Immortals on the way. Now, we do see that NightPhoenix is taking a more defensive role. Because he has no Blink, because he has no Twilight Council, he's going to be stuck at home building up his Immortals. Meanwhile, Ziomek with a massive gateway explosion. 2-base all in. These gateways, they could have been a third. They could have been an expansion, but Ziomek instead throws down 4 gates, so he's on a, what, a 6-gate setup on 2 bases. Prism is on the way, 2-base, 6-gate all in out of Ziomek. Let's go. And the Phoenixes, they see everything. They confirm, they get into the middle line, probe's going to be going down, getting 4 probes so far. 4, 5, 6 even. Oh, even a Stalker. It's a nice big ups here by NightPhoenix. He does confirm the all-in. He cripples the economy. He pulls away. And back at home, we need shield batteries. We have 1 shield battery so far. Immortals are amassing. Throwing down his own gateways to keep up production-wise with his opponent. And we'll see what else NightPhoenix can pick up. Once again, rotates into the mineral line. Ziomek, he commits to his all-in. And NightPhoenix getting a 2nd shield battery. Does get another shield battery. There is also potential that these Phoenixes, they could snipe the War Prism. They could snipe the Prism. They're racing back home. Remember, Ziomek has Blink. He can just avoid the natural go straight into the main. No shield batteries, by the way. Uh-oh. No shield batteries in the main base. Phoenixes, they rotate over. The Prism! Oh no! Prism is going to be shut down. Sorry, Sentry even. Sentry does fall. Prism's owned away. The Sentry was going for the Force Field. That was a cheeky move there by Ziomek. But it's denied. And again, I do still believe there's an opening in the main. Let's rotate towards the natural. Ooh, Observer gets sniped. He goes for the dive. And goes to the first Immortal. 1 Immortal does go down. There's 1 Immortal left. Goes to the Hallucination. Likewise, Stalker's being targeted. Dives on the 2nd Immortal. And it takes 3 volleys, but it does go down. A 3rd Immortal has arrived just in time. With the help of the Immortals, we force-fielded the army. And NightPhoenix holds. NightPhoenix does hold on. Again, those Immortals, they just dealt so much damage. Likewise, those shield batteries, they came into play. They supported the army. And there's no escaping this. And Ziomek is going to be chased down. The War Prism does fall. No more reinforcements. And remember, this was a complete 2-base all-in. There's nothing behind this. There's no Forge, no upgrades, no 3rd expansion. NightPhoenix has gained map control. And behind this is expanding. So third base on the way, Forge on the way as well for upgrades. NightPhoenix getting further ahead. As he does rotate over. Collapsing the army. And Phoenixes, they're still coming into play. They pick up whatever they can. And there's nothing rushing NightPhoenix. He does not have to break the natural. All he has to do is just contain. Just contain, get a third base, get fully saturated, build up more gateways, get into his own Twilight Council, get into a fourth expansion. NightPhoenix, he can just chill. He can just calm down, fight with shield batteries. Ziomek is still 2-base all in, and is mastering up an army, don't get me wrong. If you look at the army supplies, they're actually quite comparable with each other. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for NightPhoenix, just because he's going to be up in economy and ahead in upgrades. As +1 is on the way. Likewise, he will have shield batteries to help defend his third, to help support his army. As Ziomek moves out, Adepts stay shaded. Oof. And they will cripple the economy. Ziomek was already all in, but now he can't sustain the all in. He has to commit. He has to go for it. Mortals are somewhat exposed. But some mistargeting there initially. One immortal goes down. He gets one. And he won't get two. Yeah, no shot. GG gets called. Ziomek, he runs out of steam. And at NightPhoenix, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. NightPhoenix does claim the series, does advance on. Again, NightPhoenix looking very strong, very powerful here. As I mentioned before, we don't really get to see much of NightPhoenix anymore, so I appreciate every time we get to feature him, because we're going to feature him even more here. Up next, NightPhoenix does advance on into the next round, and we will follow NightPhoenix into that next round. Oh boy, who's up next? It's going to be a TvP NightPhoenix versus Spirit. Oh boy.